Hey everyone, welcome to Phone Arena's in-depth video review of AT&T's version of the Palm Pre Plus, which was just recently launched and actually has a lot in common with the version that Verizon currently offers. Although it does have a similar design approach and everything under the hood looks to be intact, the only differences between this one and Verizon's is the fact that this one sports a $149.99 contract price. At the same time, it's also missing the mobile hotspot feature that's prevalent on Verizon's version. Now, from the design aspect, it remains faithful to pretty much what we already saw on Verizon's version. But when you compare it to the original Palm Pre, the only difference is, of course, it's missing the physical hardware button in the gesture area. We do like the fact that it has a clean-looking, look to it in the front. The gesture area is now touch-sensitive. The button as you press in the middle, and we do like the piano black finish to it. But it does attract a lot of fingerprints and smudges. The materials that they use in the rear cover is this soft matte touch feeling material, which does a great job of preventing scratches and fingerprints. At the same time, it also works with the touch tone that's included in the limited offer right now. Weight, though, feels pretty good, well balanced, well distributed, and we do like its overall quality and durability. It feels quite well in the hand, and we do like the snapping mechanism. It has a relatively good response to it. So overall, we're still happy with the overall look and design of the Palm Pre Plus. Turning on the phone for the first time, you'll agree to its 3.1-inch display that has a resolution of 320 by 480 and support for up to 16.7 million colors. And as you can see right now on the screen, it has a fantastic display, very crisp, very detailed, and vivid. The resolution is quite adequate, of course, with this size screen. When you use it outdoors, you're still able to see it in different lighting conditions, and does really well, especially when you have it all the way set to its highest brightness levels. Right below the touchscreen, you have the gesture area. You could see that it'll light up for different types of notifications, and when you do execute different gestures. As far as the rest of the other buttons on the Palm Pre Plus, it's pretty much the same as we found already on the Verizon version. You have your volume rocker here on the left-hand side. On the top, you have your 3.5mm headset jack. You have your vibrate key here, vibrate switch, dedicated power button, and on the right hand side you have just the micro USB port, which is underneath the flap. And on the back you have the 3-megapixel camera with flash, speakerphone, and when you remove the back cover it gives you access to the battery compartment. Obviously, the Palm Pre Plus comes with a portrait-style QWERTY keyboard, which is definitely an improvement over the original one found on Sprint's version. The reason why we like this one is because it has a better tactile feel to it, so when you press that button, you really get a sense of that button feel to it. They're slightly raised from the surface, so you really get a good distinction between buttons. Although it's kind of cramped, we didn't find too many issues with typing it away on the QWERTY keyboard. That's unless you have larger fingers, where it probably is a little bit more cramped than anything else. The device comes with WebOS version 1.4.2, which is the latest build of the platform. I'm going to say it's quite refreshing to use just because it's quite so different versus the other platforms that are available. The biggest thing that it focuses on is multitasking with the cards that are opened up. You could essentially run multiple applications, and it pretty much runs really quick. We didn't notice too much of a lag or slowdown, although there is some slight pauses every now and then. The experience is pretty good with the Palm Pre Plus. Now, we got to admit again that the WebOS platform is great when it comes to the web browsing experience. As you can see, we have our site loaded on here, and it loaded up pretty quick on AT&T's network. The thing we like about it is that it renders the page just like you see it on a desktop PC. Not only is there pretty smooth scrolling, it renders pictures pretty quick and also text. At the same time, there are gestures like pinch in to zoom in and pinch out to zoom out. And you can also use the gesture area to navigate a web page, such as going forward or going back. As far as the multimedia aspects of the Palm Pre Plus for AT&T, it's the same as we've seen in any other WebOS phone. You have your standard looking music player, same exact layout and interface, nothing really too different about it. And also videos, playing videos is pretty good. It didn't have any slowdown. It ran pretty much a steady frame rate with the videos that we had on there. So the experience was nonetheless pretty good overall. Now, it's the same exact 3-megapixel camera that's found on AT&T's version, and quality is pretty much the same that we saw with Verizon. As you can see, the interface is pretty much barren, and there aren't that many icons. We do like the fact that you can take shots consecutively without that much pause in between. Now, when it comes to image quality, there's pretty good detail in the shots taken, and colors had a tendency to be too saturated in outdoor conditions, while indoors it had a tendency to actually be a little bit hazy. You could take videos with the phone, maximum shooting resolution of 640 by 480. The neat thing about it is that you could edit your videos on the phone directly, and you could even upload it to popular services such as YouTube and Facebook. And we're really disappointed with the Palm Pre Plus's performance when it comes to voice phone calls. On our end specifically, we did hear a lot of static and background noise that made it somewhat difficult to hear our callers. And also when we switched over to the speakerphone, we did notice it had a squeaky sound to it. It made it really difficult to actually hear our callers or discern them. As far as battery life is concerned with the phone, depending on your usage, you'll get at least roughly a good day's use. We had the brightness set on medium setting, and we managed to use it normal use. We managed to get 15 hours out of the device. Heavy users will obviously have to charge it every now and then, but luckily you'll still get a pretty good day's use out of it if you don't use it too heavily. Signal strength, though, we didn't have any issues with it connecting to the network. It had pretty solid bars when compared to other similar phones connected to AT&T's network. Now, go say that if this device was released a year ago, just like we saw with Sprint, this would definitely made a lot of splash and news out there. But seeing that it's following after Verizon's version, there's just some things about it that are clearly lacking. Now, first of all, it's missing the mobile hotspot feature, which is actually being made available for free for Verizon customers. Secondly, its price tag. It has a price cost of $150 on contract, which makes it a really difficult purchase for some customers out there. You could probably get other devices that are somewhat a little bit better. Although that AT&T is throwing a free touchstone right now, it really makes it still for a difficult purchase. All in all, though, we still like the platform. It's one of the few platforms out there that does so well when it comes to multitasking. In addition, it's a pretty stellar device. It has a really nice look and feel to it. One of the few smartphones that utilizes a portrait sliding QWERTY form factor. So if you'd like to learn more about this handset, or for all the latest cell phone reviews, news, specs, and information, you can check us out at phonearena.com.